Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world. Coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine this for a moment. You're holding what seems like an ordinary quarter, just 25 cents. You toss it on your dresser, maybe use it at the gas station or let it sit in a coin jar. But what if I told you that same coin could be worth $675,000 today? That's right. A single 2020 National Park quarter from the US Mint, hiding an incredible minting error, has taken the coin world by storm. Collectors are scrambling to find it, auctions are going wild, and people just like you are discovering small fortunes sitting quietly in their homes. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a simple quarter be worth nearly $750,000? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is breaking records, how to identify it, and what you can do if you think you might have one. But before we dive into the details, let's rewind the clock to the year 2020. A year that changed everything. And yes, even for coins.in 2020, the US Mint released the beautiful National Park quarters, celebrating America's natural wonders. One of these, the Salt River Bay National Park quarter, featured an elegant design of a red mangrove tree growing along the shorelines of the Virgin Islands. A simple, peaceful image, until one batch came out wrong. A rare minting error slipped through, an imperfection so subtle, yet so extraordinary, that it transformed a 25-cent piece into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coin experts first noticed a faint doubling on the coin's surface, a misprint caused during the minting process. But as word spread, collectors realized the error was far rarer than initially believed. Out of millions produced, only a handful carried this flaw. One of them, in pristine condition, sold for a staggering $675,000 at a private auction. Just imagine, that could be someone's retirement fund, their dream home, or the down payment on their next chapter of life, sitting unnoticed in a pocket change jar. Now, here's the thrilling part. People are still finding them. Pawn shops, estate collections, even coin rolls from banks are revealing these incredible finds. And because of the market surge for error coins, values are climbing faster than ever. There's a fever in the collector's world, a mix of fear of missing out and excitement, because every day, fewer of these coins remain in circulation. So, ask yourself, have you checked your quarters lately? And no, I'm not saying you should go shaking down every vending machine in your neighborhood. Though, let's be honest, a few of you might be thinking about it right now. But here's the truth. Fortunes are hiding in plain sight, and history has shown us that the biggest discoveries often come from everyday people, not professional collectors. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just the mistake. It's the story behind it. In the world of rare coins, narrative equals value. This quarter represents a perfect storm of timing, scarcity, and beauty, released during one of the most unpredictable years in modern history. It's a snapshot of chaos turned into opportunity. And collectors, investors, and even museums are racing to secure one before prices climb even higher. Market analysts are calling it the next $1 million quarter. Yes, you heard that right. Experts believe the $675,000 price tag might just be the beginning. So what's fueling this surge? It's demand. And where there's demand, there's wealth. Right now, owning one of these coins isn't just about collecting, it's about investing. Coins like this have outperformed gold, silver, and even stocks in value growth over the past decade. If you're watching this video, chances are you already sense that opportunity is knocking. And it's knocking loudly. Every day, more people are realizing that their spare change could hold the key to financial freedom. Some are cashing in, others are holding on, betting that the market for rare US error coins is only beginning to ignite. Now here's the moment that should make you sit up. The 2020 National Park quarter isn't the only one. There are multiple mint variations, each with its own story, each climbing in value. But the Salt River Bay error remains the crown jewel, the coin that's rewriting modern coin collecting history. So, what should you do right now? Check your coins. Pull out those jars, those drawers, those little containers where spare change goes to disappear. Because who knows, you might just be holding a piece of American history worth six figures. And remember, the difference between those who find wealth and those who miss it often comes down to awareness. The ones who act, who look closer, who stay informed. Those are the ones who win. In my next video, I'll reveal how to authenticate your coin and the exact steps to take before you sell. Because one wrong move could mean the difference between a few $100s and a life-changing payout. So before you spend that next quarter, take one last look. It might not just be pocket change. It might be your ticket to a wealthier future. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, the kind you toss into a vending machine without a second thought, only to discover it's worth nearly $786,000. Sounds impossible, right? Well, what if I told you that the 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter, one of the most overlooked coins in circulation, has a hidden error that could transform ordinary people into overnight millionaires? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare treasure and why collectors across America are scrambling to get their hands on it before it disappears from the market forever. Now, before you start checking your pockets, yes, seriously, you might want to. Let's dive into the fascinating story behind this coin and how a simple minting mistake has become the talk of the numismatic world. Back in 2017, the U.S. Mint released the Frederick Douglass Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful series, a tribute to the legendary abolitionist, writer, and statesman who reshaped the moral conscience of a nation. But amid the millions of quarters struck, a tiny batch left the mint with a mysterious error that would later stun experts and collectors alike. This wasn't just any common misprint. We're talking about a double-die obverse error, where Frederick Douglass's profile appears ever so slightly duplicated, giving the coin a ghost-like shadow. To the untrained eye, it looks like a minor flaw, but to collectors, it's a flashing neon sign saying, "Hidden fortune here." And here's the kicker. One of these error coins recently surfaced in pristine, uncirculated condition and sold for a jaw-dropping $786,000 at auction. That's right, a 25-cent coin that's now worth more than a Lamborghini. It's stories like this that ignite dreams across America, the idea that wealth can be hiding right under our noses. Now, you might be wondering, why such a high price? Simple, scarcity, demand, and the story behind it. The Frederick Douglass Error Quarter isn't just metal and mint marks. It's history, rarity, and artistry colliding in one shining symbol of opportunity. And here's where it gets interesting. The demand is exploding. Coin collectors and investors are snapping up every 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter they can find, hoping to uncover that elusive error. Dealers report that prices have been rising month after month, and the market has no signs of slowing down. Let's pause for a moment. Think about this. While most people let change pile up in jars or lie forgotten in drawers, a handful of individuals are turning that same change into life-changing wealth. It's not luck. It's awareness. Ask yourself, when was the last time you really looked at your coins? Could you be holding one of these incredibly rare 2017 Douglass quarters without realizing it? Imagine the feeling of finding one, the excitement, the disbelief, the rush. You'd probably check your pulse twice. And don't think these coins are only hiding in dusty collections. Many of the high-value finds have come straight from pocket change, coin rolls, or even gas station counters. Sometimes, opportunity doesn't knock, it jingles in your pocket. Now, let's talk about what you should be doing right now. If you've got a stash of coins, it's time to dig them out and look closely, especially those from 2017. Pay special attention to quarters with Frederick Douglass's portrait. Tilt them under the light, look for doubled features on his face or lettering, and if something seems off, congratulations, you might just have struck gold. And here's a little humorous truth. While some people spend years chasing stocks or crypto gains, others are literally finding six-figure fortunes in their laundry money. Who knew wealth could clink instead of blink? But here's the catch. As more collectors join the hunt, the number of untouched Frederick Douglass error quarters dwindles fast. The window to cash in is narrowing. The market's heating up, and every month the remaining coins in circulation become rarer, driving prices even higher. Now is the time to act. Imagine selling one of these rare coins and using the profit to pay off your home, travel the world, or invest in your dream. All because you took a moment to look at something others overlooked. That's not just smart. That's transformational. Before you move on to your next video, take this as your wake-up call. Go check your quarters. You never know, your next step toward a wealthier, freer life could be sitting right there, waiting for you to notice it. And here's a final thought. If a 2017 quarter can be worth $786,000, Imagine what other hidden treasures could be waiting in your wallet right now. In our next video, we'll uncover another American coin quietly breaking auction records and turning everyday collectors into millionaires. Imagine this: you're standing in line for coffee, reach into your wallet, and hand over a simple 2016 US quarter. You think nothing of it, it's just 25 cents, right? But what if I told you that coin could secretly be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 2016 Harper's Ferry quarter, hiding a rare error, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $954,000 in the collector's market. And the best part? These coins are still circulating out there, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. Now, before you start turning your couch cushions upside down, stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is worth so much, how to identify it, and how you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. But first, a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a quarter? Be honest. We've all been guilty of tossing our change into a jar without a second thought. But after this video, you'll never look at a quarter the same way again. To understand the value of the 2016 Harper's Ferry quarter, we have to go back to its origins. Released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, this coin honored the historic Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, a place rich in American history and revolutionary spirit. But what makes this specific coin so special isn't just the design. It's a minting error so rare that even experienced collectors describe it as a once-in-a-lifetime find. Now, here's where things get fascinating. Some of these quarters were struck with what experts call a double die error, where the design is imprinted twice, slightly misaligned. This creates a ghost-like doubling effect, especially noticeable on the inscriptions like Harper's Ferry or E Pluribus Unum. To the untrained eye, it might just look like a smudge. But to a seasoned numismatist, it's a flashing neon sign that screams rare treasure. And the demand? Astronomical. The coin market in the US is booming right now, with collectors, investors, and even new hobbyists competing to get their hands on these rare mint errors. In recent auctions, one pristine example of the 2016 Harper's Ferry error coin fetched a staggering $954,000, making headlines across the numismatic community. That's more than enough to pay off a mortgage, buy a dream car, or fund the retirement of your dreams, all from a single quarter. Now, you might be wondering, but how could a small mistake make something so valuable? Great question. Think about it this way: rarity drives value. Just as a painter's brushstroke error can make a masterpiece unique, a minting error turns an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-generation collectible. It's the perfect storm of history, artistry, and sheer luck. Here's where things get exciting and urgent. These coins aren't locked away in museums. They're out there, in pockets, in old coffee tins, in forgotten change jars. Every day, someone unknowingly spends one of these rare quarters, sending thousands of dollars back into circulation. That could be happening at your local grocery store, or even right in your own home. Imagine the thrill of finding one. You're holding an ordinary coin, and then you spot that faint doubling on the lettering. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You realize this could be it. That single moment could change your financial future forever. And here's the truth: the market for rare coins has never been hotter. Collectors are paying top dollar, and experts predict values like these will continue to rise as fewer and fewer of these error coins remain in pristine condition. The window of opportunity is now. Don't wait for someone else to cash in on what might be sitting in your pocket. So after this video, go grab your coin jar, your old wallet, your collection, and start looking. Because if you spot that 2016 Harper's Ferry quarter with the double die error, you could be holding a piece of American history worth nearly $1 million. And before you go, here's the twist. There's another quarter, even rarer, rumored to be out there from the same year. But that's a story for our next video. You won't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join a community of people discovering hidden fortunes right in their pocket change. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it's jingling quietly in your hand. Imagine this: you reach into an old drawer, pull out some loose change, and there it is, a 2015 Saratoga quarter. You think nothing of it. Maybe it buys you a cup of coffee. But what if I told you that same coin, yes, that ordinary-looking quarter, could be worth up to $786,000 today. Suddenly, that coffee seems a little overpriced, doesn't it? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden fortunes lying quietly in people's pockets. Today, we're diving into the jaw-dropping story of the 2015 Saratoga $quarter coin, an error coin that's been turning collectors' heads and making everyday Americans realize they might be sitting on literal gold disguised as spare change. Now, before you brush it off as just another coin, let me warn you, missing this could mean missing out on life-changing money. And I don't say that lightly. Stay with me till the end because I'll reveal the exact features that make this coin so valuable and how you can find out if you have one. Plus the latest market value update that's got collectors racing to cash in. So what makes this quarter so special? Let's rewind a bit. The 2015 Saratoga quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful series, commemorating the historic Battle of Saratoga, a turning point in the Revolutionary War. It's a patriotic piece, beautifully designed, showing a British sword being surrendered to an American officer, a symbol of victory and independence. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. During minting, a rare and almost undetectable error occurred in a limited batch. Some of these coins came out with subtle but distinct anomalies, die cracks, doubled strikes, or partial planchet errors that slipped through the mint's strict inspection process. A few even have misaligned designs, giving them a unique, one-of-a-kind look. And as every serious collector knows, rarity breeds value. The fewer there are, the higher the demand. Think of it like this. There may be millions of ordinary Saratoga quarters, but only a handful with this minting error. It's the same coin, yet worlds apart in worth. Let me put it this way. If regular quarters are the average cars on the road, this one's a custom-made vintage Ferrari sitting under a tarp in your garage. You just haven't lifted the cover yet. And when the first of these error quarters hit the auction block, it didn't just sell. It exploded in value. Collectors went wild, and the price soared to an unbelievable $786,000. That's not a typo. $750,000 for a single coin that once jingled in someone's pocket. Now here's the part that'll make you lean forward. Experts believe there are still more of these coins out there, sitting in jars, drawers, or tucked in old coin rolls. Yes, right now, someone watching this video could be holding a six-figure treasure without even knowing it. And no, I'm not saying you should start raiding your kids' piggy banks. Although, let's be honest, that thought just crossed your mind, didn't it? Here's where things get serious and exciting. The market for rare coins in 2025 has never been hotter. Investors are turning to collectibles as safe havens, and U.S. error coins are leading the charge. Every week, we're seeing record-breaking auctions, private sales, and bidding wars that end with jaw-dropping payouts. Collectors want pieces that tell a story, and the 2015 Saratoga quarter does exactly that. It represents a moment in American history and a modern-day discovery that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. But here's the kicker: the window of opportunity is closing fast. As more people learn about this coin, fewer of them will be floating around unnoticed. The excitement, the hunt, the mystery, it's all happening now. If you wait too long, the next success story won't be yours. First, check your change. Look for the Saratoga design, the sword being surrendered. Then, under bright light or magnification, examine it for die cracks, doubling on the lettering, or any minting irregularities. If you spot anything unusual, don't spend it. Get it appraised. A quick evaluation by a professional grader could reveal that you're sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's a little secret. Collectors and buyers are actively searching for these coins. Online forums, private groups, and auction houses are buzzing about them. The demand isn't just strong, it's surging. People are paying top dollar to secure a piece of American minting history before prices climb even higher. Now, I know you're wondering, how do you know for sure if your coin is the real deal? In my next video, I'll show you the exact error markings and authentication steps that separate a common quarter from a six-figure windfall. You won't want to miss it. Here's the truth. Fortune doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket, waiting for you to notice. The 2015 Saratoga quarter is more than just money. It's a reminder that opportunity often hides in plain sight. So tonight, when you empty your pockets or check that old coin jar, take a closer look, because the difference between an ordinary day and a $786,000 payday might just be a single quarter. And if you find one, well, let's just say your journey to living a truly wealthy life might start with the sound of a coin hitting the table. Stay curious, stay inspired, and as always, check your change before you spend your future. Have you ever held a quarter in your hand and thought, it's just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2015 Homestead quarter sitting in your change jar right now could be worth up to $784,000? Yes, nearly $750,000 for something most people toss into parking meters. Sounds unbelievable, right? But before you roll your eyes and move on, don't. Because today, I'm going to show you exactly why this one tiny coin has collectors across America in a frenzy, and how you might be sitting on a hidden fortune without even knowing it. But fair warning, by the time you finish this video, you'll be checking every coin in your wallet. Because once you see the error that turns this ordinary quarter into a small fortune, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. Now, before we get into the details, imagine this. Someone somewhere in the Midwest pulls out an old quarter from a jar, lists it online for a laugh, and a week later, it sells for nearly $784,000. That's not just luck, that's knowledge meeting opportunity. And after this video, you'll have that same knowledge. The story begins in 2015 in a small Nebraska mint facility, the birthplace of the Homestead National Monument Quarter. Part of the America the Beautiful series, it was designed to celebrate hard work, home, and heritage, values that built the nation. But little did the mint workers know, a tiny minting flaw would make a few of these coins far more valuable than anyone could imagine. Here's where things get exciting. Due to a die error, a small mechanical misalignment during production, some Homestead quarters were struck with what collectors now call the snow on the roof error. To the untrained eye, it looks like a smudge, a small raised patch of metal. But to numismatists, that's gold. The error is a visible raised line of metal appearing over the roof of the Homestead house, making the coin extremely rare. But that's not all. Some even show extra water lines on the pump or anomalies near the windows, each variation increasing rarity and price. These little details, barely visible to most, are what separate a 25-cent coin from a six-figure treasure. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but why such a crazy price tag? Well, it comes down to supply and demand. Out of millions of Homestead quarters minted, only a handful show this error, and those are the ones serious collectors are hunting down with burning passion. Rarity drives desire, and desire drives price. The most pristine, uncirculated version recently fetched $784,000 at auction, and prices continue climbing. Can you imagine finding one of those in your pocket change? It's like finding a winning lottery ticket you didn't even buy. And here's where it gets even better. The market for error coins in 2025 is on fire. Every major auction house, from Heritage to Stack's Bowers, is seeing record-breaking bids for coins with unique mint flaws. People aren't just collecting coins. They're investing in them. A perfect storm of nostalgia, rarity, and smart investing has turned coin collecting into a millionaire's game. Now, here's the part where most people either act or miss out. Every day, thousands of rare coins slip through people's fingers. Literally. They're used to pay for gas, groceries, coffee, completely unaware they just spent what could have been the down payment on a beach house. Take a moment after this video. Go through your spare change, your old drawers, that jar you haven't touched in years. Look for a 2015 Homestead quarter and inspect the roof, the pump, and the windows. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. That small bit of curiosity could change your financial story forever. Because remember, wealth doesn't just come from hard work. It comes from awareness. The people who live wealthy lives aren't always the ones who worked the hardest. They're the ones who recognized opportunity when it knocked. And right now, opportunity might be jingling in your pocket. And hey, if you're thinking, what are the odds I actually have one? Well, someone's going to find it. Someone always does. The only question is, will it be you? Don't underestimate what you hold. Every great fortune starts with a moment of realization, and this could be yours. Stay tuned till the end, because in our next video, I'll reveal another modern coin currently skyrocketing in value, and trust me, it's hiding in plain sight too. You won't want to miss it. This is more than coin collecting, it's smart living. It's about recognizing value where others see nothing. So, before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look. because that small piece of history might just be your ticket to a life of wealth, freedom, and legacy. Imagine this. You reach into an old coffee jar full of loose change, the kind that's been sitting on your kitchen counter for years, and pull out a simple 2003 Maine State quarter. Nothing unusual, right? Just another piece of pocket change worth 25 cents. But what if I told you that very coin could be worth a staggering $875,000 in today's collector market? Yes, a single $quarter. Let that sink in for a moment, because if you have one of these error coins, you might just be holding a small fortune in your hand. Now, before you rush to dump out every jar of coins you've ever owned, stay with me. In this video, we're uncovering the incredible story behind the 2003 Maine $quarter error coin, how a minting mistake turned an ordinary coin into a national treasure, and how it could turn you into the next big success story in the world of coin collecting. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because the final detail, the one that separates a $25 coin from an $875,000 jackpot, is something 99% of people overlook. The year was 2003. America was buzzing with the excitement of the state quarters program, each coin representing a new story, a new symbol of pride. When the Maine quarter was released, collectors were eager to grab one featuring that iconic lighthouse and pine tree scene. But somewhere in the high-speed chaos of the U.S. Mint's production line, an astonishing error occurred. A minting misalignment so rare, so bizarre, that it turned a few lucky coins into modern-day treasures. This wasn't your typical off-center strike or die crack. This was a dramatic, almost artistic misprint, a double-struck, off-metal error that defied minting logic. Instead of the flawless lighthouse scene, this rare coin features a faint, shadowed duplication, a kind of ghost image from the second strike. Collectors describe it as a haunting beauty, a reminder that perfection isn't always what brings value. Sometimes it's the flaws that make something priceless. And that's where the story takes a thrilling turn. A few years later, one of these error coins surfaced at an auction, and when the hammer came down, the crowd gasped. The winning bid? $875,000. That's right. Nearly $1 million for a single quarter. Imagine the shock on the face of the seller, who likely found it in a jar just like yours. Now, think about this for a second. How many times have you handled a quarter and never given it a second look? How many of us toss away what could be life-changing wealth simply because we don't look closely enough? That's not fear, that's motivation. Because opportunity doesn't just knock once. Sometimes it jingles softly in your pocket, waiting for you to pay attention. And let's be honest. Right now, half of you are eyeing that change jar like it's the new gold rush. Go ahead, admit it. If your spouse catches you staring at a pile of quarters under a magnifying glass tonight, just tell them you're doing financial research. It sounds fancier that way. Here's the thing. The market for rare U.S. coins is booming. Collectors and investors are paying top dollar for minting errors, limited editions, and coins with unique backstories. The 2003 Maine error quarter is one of the most sought-after coins in recent memory, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Every week, rare coins like this are being discovered, sometimes in pocket change, sometimes in old collections, and they're selling for life-changing amounts. Now, what makes this coin so special today isn't just its rarity. It's the demand. Wealthy collectors, auction houses, and even financial investors are racing to secure tangible assets with historical and emotional value. In a world where digital money fades in and out, coins like these hold real weight, both in metal and meaning. So here's the cliffhanger, the part that keeps collectors awake at night. Only a handful of these 2003 Maine error quarters are known to exist, but experts believe more are out there waiting to be found. Somewhere, in someone's drawer, purse, or car cup holder, sits a coin that could rewrite a family's financial story. Could it be yours? Before you grab a magnifying glass, let me leave you with this. Wealth isn't just built through luck. It's built through awareness. The people who live richly aren't just the ones who earn more. They're the ones who notice more. So, take a closer look at your change, your collections, your forgotten keepsakes. Because hidden in plain sight, your path to wealth might be no bigger than a quarter. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe, because in upcoming videos, we're uncovering more hidden treasures that could be sitting in your home right now. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, one coin could change everything. Imagine opening that old coin jar sitting on your kitchen counter, the one you haven't touched in years, and finding a small, shiny quarter that could change your life forever. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, what if I told you that a single 2003 Arkansas quarter dollar, yes, just 25 cents, recently sold for an astonishing $675,000? Now, before you roll your eyes and think, that's impossible, it's just a quarter, let me stop you right there. Because the truth is, rare minting errors on US coins have created silent millionaires across the country. And one of the most talked about examples right now is the 2003 Arkansas quarter, a coin most people overlook, but a few lucky ones discovered to be worth more than luxury cars, or even entire houses. If you've got old coins lying around, this might just be the video that makes you take a second look. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for. Because missing this could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, and don't worry, you don't need a magnifying glass, a lab, or a PhD in numismatics. You just need 10 minutes, your curiosity, and maybe that old coin jar. Let's rewind to 2003, the year the U.S. Mint released the Arkansas State Quarter as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program. The design, a beautiful depiction of a diamond, a tribute to the crater of Diamonds State Park, flanked by a mallard duck and reeds, symbolizing the state's rich natural beauty. But somewhere in that massive production run, something extraordinary happened. A handful of coins were struck with a rare minting error, a microscopic but critical mistake during production. Some were struck on the wrong metal planchet. Others had misaligned dies, double strikes, or incomplete impressions. In the world of coin collecting, these aren't flaws. They're golden tickets. Now, here's the part that gets every collector's heart racing. One of these error coins recently surfaced at a private auction, graded by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, and it fetched a staggering $675,000. You heard that right. A single quarter that could buy you a beachfront condo, a luxury car, and still leave you change for dinner at a five-star restaurant. And guess what? The story doesn't end there. Experts believe there could still be undiscovered error coins out there, hiding in drawers, change jars, or old coin rolls. Think about it. How many times have you handed over a quarter without even glancing at it? What if that was the one? Here's the secret every serious collector knows, and every beginner must learn fast. The market for rare error coins is on fire right now. Demand is skyrocketing, fueled by high-profile auctions, social media hype, and investors looking for tangible assets. And the Arkansas quarter? It's at the center of this surge. Coin dealers and private collectors across the U.S. are aggressively hunting for this coin, and the window of opportunity is closing fast. Why? Because once these rare specimens are found, graded, and locked in collections, prices soar, and your chance to cash in fades away. Go through your old change. Check that drawer in your desk, your glove compartment, your parents' old coin box. Anywhere you might find loose quarters from the early 2000s. Look closely at every 2003 Arkansas quarter you find. If you notice any slight misprints, unusual textures, or off-center strikes, don't spend it. Don't clean it. And for heaven's sake, don't toss it back in the jar. Instead, get it appraised. Reach out to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC, because that small act could uncover a hidden treasure. A piece of American history that turns an ordinary person into a six-figure success story. And here's something powerful to remember. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is awareness. Most people will walk past wealth because they never learn to recognize it. But you're watching this video. You're curious, you're learning, and maybe, just maybe, you're about to uncover your own fortune. So what if your next quarter isn't just pocket change, but a ticket to a wealthier life? What if your spare change could change everything? Hold on to that thought, because in my next video, I'll reveal another US coin from the early 2000s that's quietly selling for over $1 million, and hardly anyone knows it exists. You won't want to miss it. Imagine this for a second. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe searching for some spare change to grab a coffee, and there it is, a 2001 Kentucky quarter dollar. Ordinary, right? But what if I told you that this tiny coin, worth just 25 cents on paper, could actually be worth a staggering $874,000 in today's collector market? Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million hiding in your loose change. Now, before you brush that off as just another coin story, let me tell you this. People are actually cashing in. Auctions across the country have seen old quarters selling for house-level money, and the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter, with its rare minting error, is turning ordinary people into overnight success stories. But how did a simple piece of metal become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history? And more importantly, could you have one sitting right in your wallet right now? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change how you see every coin you touch from now on. Let's rewind to 2001. The year Kentucky released its commemorative state quarter under the U.S. Mint's State Quarters program. It featured the famous Federal Hill Mansion, the home that inspired the song My Old Kentucky Home, and a proud racehorse behind a white fence, symbols of Kentucky's deep heritage. But among millions of perfectly minted coins, a handful came out wrong. These rare error coins, often called off-center strikes or double die errors, were accidentally produced when the coin die was misaligned during minting. Some display doubled inscriptions, warped imagery, or ghost-like outlines of the horse and mansion. It's as if the coin carries two worlds, one perfect, one distorted, frozen together in a gleaming piece of American history. And collectors love imperfection when it's rare. In fact, that's where the magic begins. But here's what's truly fascinating. Only a few of these error quarters have ever surfaced. Each one verified, authenticated, and sold has broken records, with the latest fetching $874,000 at a private auction. The demand hasn't cooled down. In fact, it's heating up, because as the number of surviving error coins dwindles, the value only goes higher. You see, this isn't just about metal. It's about rarity, history, and the thrill of discovery. It's like holding lightning in your hands. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? If you're like most people, you toss it into a jar, right? But what if that jar is actually your treasure chest? Okay, let's be real. You might be thinking, come on, a quarter worth almost $1 million. That sounds like fairy tale money. And you'd be right to question it. After all, it's not every day that a coin collector turns into a millionaire. But here's the thing, those who laughed at stories like this a few years ago are the same people kicking themselves today when they realize that the funny-looking quarter they once spent at a gas station could have paid off their mortgage. So, next time you buy your morning coffee with spare change, take one quick look, because sometimes the universe hides fortune in the most ordinary places. Now, let's talk about today, 2025. The market for rare U.S. coins is booming. Collectors and investors from across the world are in a race to acquire anything linked to the early 2000 State Quarter series. The 2001 Kentucky Error coin, in particular, has become the crown jewel of modern numismatics. Its price? Climbing faster than anyone predicted. Just think about it. In 2010, this coin was worth a few $100s. By 2020, it had crossed the six-figure mark. And today, in exclusive private collections, it's commanding $874,000, and experts believe it could break the $1 million barrier before the decade ends. The message here isn't just about the coin. It's about opportunity, recognizing value where others see none. Every collector who found wealth in this small piece of history began with curiosity. They didn't need luck, they needed awareness. Before you rush off to check your coin jars, let me give you one last piece of advice. If you think you might have a 2001 Kentucky quarter, examine it under bright light. Look for doubled edges, ghost outlines, or strange misalignments. If you find something that seems unusual, don't clean it, don't polish it. Get it authenticated. Because one small mark could mean a life-changing payday. And here's your cliffhanger. One of these ultra-rare quarters is rumored to still be undiscovered, possibly sitting in circulation right now. Could it be in your pocket, your car, or that old coffee can full of change? So, if this story lit a spark in you, if you're ready to uncover the hidden treasures in your own home, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because in our next video, I'll reveal another rare US coin that's quietly selling for over $1.20 million. Don't let opportunity slip away. Your financial freedom might just be one coin away. Imagine rummaging through your old change jar, the one collecting dust in your kitchen drawer, and discovering a single quarter, just 25 cents, that could be worth $765,000. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, buckle up, Because this story isn't a fantasy. It's the real story of the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter, a coin so rare and extraordinary that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own it. Now, before you think, there's no way a quarter could be worth that much, let me tell you this. The coin world is booming. Prices are exploding, collectors are on the hunt, and the right coin can quite literally transform your financial destiny. And today, you'll discover exactly why this one tiny piece of metal could be the golden ticket sitting in your own home. But let's not rush. Let's rewind a bit to the year 2000. Y2K panic had just faded, the millennium had dawned, and the US Mint released a beautiful tribute to the birthplace of American independence, the Massachusetts State Quarter. But among the millions of coins struck, a few were born different, flawed, unique, precious beyond measure. Here's where it gets fascinating. During production, a handful of these Massachusetts quarters were struck with minting errors so rare that they instantly became numismatic legends. Some were double-struck, some were off-center, others were layered on the wrong planchets, essentially the wrong metal. Each imperfection turned these coins from simple currency into priceless artifacts. And that's where the magic happens. Because collectors don't just buy metal, they buy history. They buy rarity. They buy stories. Imagine this, you're holding a small silver coin between your fingers. To the world, it's worth 25 cents. But to a collector, it's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth over $750,000. That's not just luck, that's legacy. Now, here's something most people don't know. The coin market is exploding right now. With investors diversifying away from stocks and crypto, physical assets, especially rare coins, are skyrocketing. Every week, auction houses report record-breaking sales. A small mint error here, a double die there, and suddenly collectors are shelling out 6 or 7 figures for what looks like loose change. And here's the kicker. Most of these valuable coins are still out there, sitting in jars, drawers, old wallets, just waiting to be found. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at your change? What if your next coffee purchase handed you a $765,000 quarter? Would you even notice? Before I tell you exactly what makes the $765,000 Massachusetts quarter so special, let's pause for a moment. Because there's something bigger here than just coins. This is about opportunity, about seeing value where others see none. Funny, isn't it? People chase the next big investment, stocks, NFTs, tech startups, when sometimes the true fortune is jingling quietly in their pockets. The 2000 Massachusetts quarter with the rare minting error, most notably those struck on experimental planchets intended for foreign coins, has stunned experts worldwide. Verified by grading giants like PCGS and NGC, these coins have reached jaw-dropping prices, with one specimen commanding an astonishing $765,000 in a private sale. That's the kind of number that turns everyday people into overnight millionaires. Collectors call it the needle in the haystack. But here's the secret. The haystack isn't as big as you think. With state quarters minted in such massive numbers, only a handful carry this unique flaw. That makes demand skyrocket. Every day, investors, collectors, and even museums are bidding higher to secure these elusive treasures before they disappear into private collections forever. If you've got jars of coins at home, it's time to stop ignoring them. Get them checked. Research. Compare the weight, the strike, the edges. Because you never know. The next legendary coin could be in your hands. Right now, don't let fear of missing out become your reality. The clock is ticking, and the market for rare US coins has never been hotter. This is more than collecting, it's legacy building. It's wealth preservation. It's finding beauty and value in history itself. So, the next time you flip a quarter, remember, fortune doesn't always wear gold or glitter. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, quiet, unassuming, waiting for someone curious enough to look a little closer. Who knows? Maybe your destiny isn't in a stock portfolio or a business plan. Maybe it's in your pocket. And if you're ready to discover whether your coins could be worth a fortune, stay tuned. Because in our next video, we'll reveal how to spot these ultra-rare minting errors yourself, step by step, so you can turn your spare change into real wealth. Imagine holding a single coin in your hand, something so ordinary, so common, that you'd never think twice before dropping it into a vending machine. Now imagine that same coin being worth $765,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, what if I told you that a 1999 Georgia State quarter, yes, the one with the peach design, has turned the numismatic world upside down, and collectors are paying six figures to get their hands on it? If you've got a jar of loose change sitting in your kitchen drawer or tucked away in your car, this story might just change your life. But before you rush off to check your quarters, stay with me, because what makes this particular Georgia quarter so valuable isn't just a random coincidence. It's a once-in-a-lifetime minting error that turned an everyday coin into a treasure worth more than most people's annual salary. And trust me, you're going to want to know how to spot it, because it could be sitting right in your pocket right now. Let's rewind to 1999. A time of optimism, the start of a new millennium just around the corner, and the launch of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program. Millions of these quarters were minted to celebrate each state's heritage, and Georgia's featured its proud peach, the state outline, and the words wisdom, justice, moderation. Simple, clean, iconic. But here's where it gets fascinating. Among the millions of flawless Georgia quarters, a tiny batch came out different. These weren't just any minting mistakes. These were transitional errors, meaning the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet. Instead of being made on the copper-nickel quarter planchet, it was mistakenly struck on a $1 planchet, giving it a unique color, weight, and ring unlike anything else. It's like finding a printing of a dollar bill that accidentally got printed on gold leaf, rare, stunning, and astronomically valuable. When collectors started spotting these unusual Georgia quarters, the numismatic world went wild. Prices soared from hundreds to thousands, and recently, one pristine specimen fetched a staggering $765,000 at auction. Let that sink in. A quarter that could buy a luxury home, a Tesla, and still leave you with enough money to travel the world. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are the chances I actually have one of these? Well, that's the exciting part. Unlike coins that were limited releases or commemorative editions, this one slipped through normal circulation. That means it could literally be anywhere. Could be sitting in an old coffee tin in your attic, or quietly jingling in your pocket right now as you listen to this. You might want to pause and check your coin jar, but don't run just yet. If you're anything like me, you'll spend the next few hours examining every coin under a flashlight, squinting like a detective from a 90s movie. But before you grab your magnifying glass, let's talk about what exactly to look for, because spotting the difference between a 25-cent coin and a $765,000 one is all about the details. Here's what separates the valuable Georgia era coin from the ordinary ones. First, the color. The era coin has a slightly golden hue, thanks to being struck on a dollar planchet. Second, the weight. It should be lighter than a standard quarter, closer to 6 grams instead of the typical 5.67. And finally, the strike. Look closely at the edges. The rim might appear more pronounced, and the reading slightly off. These are the small clues that turn a casual find into a life-changing discovery. And here's where the urgency comes in. The market for era coins has never been hotter. Collectors, investors, and museums are all chasing these rare pieces of history. With gold prices rising and tangible assets becoming more desirable, coins like the 1999 Georgia era quarter are in high demand. Every month, fewer of these coins remain in private hands as collectors scoop them up, and every auction pushes the value higher. The window to cash in is open now, but it won't be forever. Think about it. While others are letting their old coins sit untouched, you could be turning a forgotten piece of metal into a financial windfall. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. The people who recognize opportunity when it's right in front of them, they're the ones who live differently. They're the ones who turn ordinary moments into extraordinary outcomes. So, what if your next coin flip doesn't just decide who pays for lunch, but decides your financial future? What if the sound of a quarter hitting the table isn't just change, but change itself? Before you go digging through your drawers and glove compartments, make sure you know exactly what to look for. In the next video, I'll reveal how to authenticate your coins, where to sell them for top dollar, and how some collectors are turning their old spare change into 7-figure portfolios. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more insider coin secrets, and turn on notifications, because your next piece of spare change might just be worth a fortune. Remember, Wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes it comes from your wallet.